Welcome back into the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Madisonville Marine during the month of October. In other words, get down there fast. Madisonville Marine has specials and deals on all manner of their G3 boats. Bob, you're a G3 boat man from Madisonville Marine. You like it?
You shouldn't love inanimate objects,
but we all do.
All right, and moving right along, they also have great deals on Yamaha motors right now. G3 boats, Yamaha motors, terrific specials at Madisonville Marine. Get down there this week to learn more. All right, not a great look right now. That was yesterday in Tuscaloosa. A couple of Vol fans there with bags on their heads. A store in Chattanooga is selling fire butch cakes. Someone flew a banner plane over Tuscaloosa yesterday. Tim Tebow came out and took a shot at you yesterday on TV. Tim Tebow. And Paul Feinbaum, of course, did his usual shtick. But here's the thing. If you don't make a move on Butch Jones quickly now, the way it's building, are you hurting your reputation? Is Tennessee hurting its reputation by sticking with Jones and letting him have more opportunities? Chuck, I'll start with you.
No, I think what's hurting your reputation is these lopsided losses where you're not even really in the game against Georgia and Alabama. I think you're giving the guy every chance you can to show that he deserves to keep the job. And it's like, what is he doing or showing that he does deserve to keep the job and he can turn it around? So no, I don't think you're hurting your national reputation by keeping him. I think you're kind of bending over backwards to give him a chance.
See, I think you got some people out there listening to you that would say that's one and the same. By bending over and giving him as many chances as you can, bending over backwards to help him, you're hurting your national reputation because Paul Feinbaum says fire him, and if Feinbaum says it, we all have to obey. Thoughts on, are they hurting their reputation by not making a move quickly enough?
I just wonder if in the coaching world you hurt your reputation by making a move too quick on a coach that has won 9 games the last 2 years. But, and you and I have talked about this, I think the reaction to this season is what's over the top. That's what's hurting your reputation nationally, is if you're out there and a lot of people have wanted him fired since before the season. Everybody thought this was going to be about a 7-win team.
Not everybody. A lot of fans.
Okay.
We did. Yeah. We said 7.5 over/under, which is where they're at. But fans were thinking 9 or 10.
It ain't reality. This looked like a 7-win team going into this season. I said 8 earlier. I changed it to 7. Yeah. So yes, the offense has looked much worse than I thought it would. But you're about where I thought you would be, and I think it's the overreaction that's hurting your reputation nationally. That's what I think it is.
If Tennessee is 3-4, exact same wins, exact same losses, but they're actually scoring on offense, do you think the Heat's is bad?
No, because he's an offensive coach. I think the Heat's worse because he's an offensive coach and your offense is
I think it's worse because you don't see hope.
Yeah.
You don't see hope with this offense. Why would you? This offense is terrible.
Yeah.
So I think that's where the frustration lies. You're not looking ahead and thinking, okay, well, you can outscore Missouri if you need to, or you can outscore whatever team if you need to. So I think that's what's hurt. On the national reputation thing, it depends on who you trust. If you're looking at, do you hurt your reputation with the coaching fraternity? No. Are you hurting it with national writers and media? Yes, because they're already calling for him to be fired, right?
Yeah. And the funny thing there is they'll be the first ones to flip it if he wins 2 games.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way the thing goes. Josh, what about recruiting? We asked Ryan Callahan last week. He's a recruiting guy like you. What's your take on, if you're waiting and it's people are making fun of you and Tennessee fans wearing bags on their heads, what's that do for recruiting? Is it time to go now? Will that help things if you do it now?
Yeah, I don't think there's a great impact on recruiting. Negative recruiting is already there. Coaches from opposing schools are easily recruiting with a lot of negative attention on Tennessee prospects here that they know what the situation is. But right now, Tennessee's coaches are in place and they have relationships and they're able to fight that as best they can. What really hurts is just losing the games the way that they are. But if you fire the coach, the longer gap, I think, between firing a coach and hiring the next coach, that makes you more vulnerable to other coaches that can recruit against you. And I keep hearing, well, fire the coach and just hire the replacement right away. I don't think that's reality.
No coach, and we've said that here, let's throw Chip Kelly since he's out there. If they went to Chip Kelly right now and said, here's $20 million, he's going to say, that's great. Let's talk at the end of the season so I can compare what else is out there and get you all bidding against each other and drive my price tag up. That is how any agent of any coach would play it. I don't think Chip Kelly or anybody else would say, yes, where's the contract? Here, let me sign. And come in here on October 23rd. I don't see that happening. But you don't. There are some people who think that get an interim in place and that'll save the class. One, I'm never about saving the class. Worry about finding the right head coach. But you don't think an interim is going to help save the class?
No, I don't think so, because I know fans have been concerned about some decommitments or prospects looking around. You'll have more decommitments and more players looking around if you fire the coach.
All right. Well, it is getting hot out there and around here. I mean, I'm starting to get comments from folks saying, well, Jones is a worse coach than Derek Dooley. That's out there today. I tell you what's really big out there today is bring back Lane Kiffin, because he played well yesterday. His team scored 60 points yesterday, so now it's bring back Lane Kiffin. I think the longer this goes, the more insane people get.
Lane could be there for when you name the sewer plant after.
That's
he
right.
could actually attend the ceremony.
That's right.
We had one that called it, wanted Lane to come back as the offensive coordinator only.
Lane ain't coming back.
Yep.
He's not coming back in any capacity. That would be the bigger shock. It would be less surprising if John Gruden came here as head coach with Chip Kelly as his offensive coordinator. That would be less surprising than Lane Kiffin getting the people that hired him, bringing him back. Are you kidding? The lurch he left them in. I'm amazed that there's still fans out there saying bring him back.
Me too.
Stunning.
I'm not, actually.
No.
Oh, well,
Because
Okay.
you've always been a Kiffin guy.
That's right.
All right. I don't think that's what he meant. All right. Is it more likely, when we come back, is it more likely the Vols run the table, or is it more likely the table runs them? Closer to 5-0 or closer to 0-5? That's our next topic. Come back on the Sports Source.